I mean, it's got to be. Just two up-tempo teams. I like the way they both play. Just exciting. Just a lot of players that are fun to watch on both sides of the and it really turned out that way. I mean, that's the kind of game we saw. It was just awesome. And you know the thing about it, I was so incredibly tired yesterday because I haven't worked, I haven't done manual labor in a while. So after laying side yesterday, I was a little bit tired. I was kind of exhausted. So I'm watching the game, and thank God I was smart enough to set my recorder, my DVR recorder, to record not only the game itself but the news afterwards, because I knew I felt a little bit tired, like I might not be able to. No matter, sometimes if you're really tired after a long day, I mean, it doesn't matter how exciting whatever program you're watching is, you're gonna fade. You're gonna fade and you're gonna nod off. And that's what happened to me last night. It was 9 o'clock maybe, and I was nodding off in my recliner trying to watch this game. It was an awesome game, but I was falling asleep. So I did. I slept. I woke up at about 1 in the morning, maybe closer to 2. I woke up, and I kind of had a second wind, and I knew I had to get up and watch that game right then and there. I had to watch I had to. There was no way, because I couldn't watch it today because there's kids all over my house. I would have never been able to watch it, and then I would have seen, I would have seen the highlights and the result on ESPN, and yeah, and I couldn't do that. I have to see the game so I can talk about the game and what I saw. So I watched it right then and there. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. I was watching the title game. But at least I could fast forward through commercials and everything like that. And I kind of had my second wind, I was up for it. I was watching it. Hell, I just peeled off like 5 hours of sleep. I was ready. So I caught it right there in the middle of the night. It was all, and I couldn't believe it. I honestly thought that Memphis had it in the bag. I mean, they had it. They absolutely had that game. And I can't decide what to make of the free throws, because everybody's talking about the free throws and the fact that they couldn't hit free throws late. But then they point out the fact that they actually had the two guys at the free throw line on Memphis that could hit free throws, and Chris Douglas-Roberts and Derrick Rose. I mean, these are the two guys that shoot like 70% or over. So you want those guys at the line. And, the thing about it is, the whole game, they were hitting their free throws. If you look at the entire the entire game, their free throw percentage wasn't that bad. They were making free throws. It's just that they missed those few at the end of the game that cost them. It literally cost them the game. Just those few free throws at the end. So, to me, you got to hit those. You have to hit at least one of those. I was a little, going into the Final Four, I was really impressed with Derrick Rose. I still am, but there's things that I saw that I was a little concerned about, because I honestly thought going into this Final Four, if Derrick Rose had a good enough performance, in the Final Four, and Memphis wins, then he might be edging out Michael Beasley as the number 1 pick in next year's draft. I mean, that's what I was thinking. You could make that strong of a point about Derrick Rose. He's that gifted and that effective. I think he could honestly make a difference on an NBA team next year. So I was thinking, boy, with a really good performance, this kid might get thrown into the argument of who's number 1. But I saw some things I didn't like last night. I saw some things that, some things he could still work on. And great. I think it's nitpicking a little bit, because he's such an amazing player. And everything he can do, he's just terrific. Not many weaknesses at all. But I was a little disappointed at how easy it was for him to defer the big shots over to Douglas Roberts. Do you know what I mean? He seemed to, there at the end of the game, instead of creating his own shots, he seemed to be just more than content to kick it over to Douglas Roberts and watch. And here, let him, I don't want to miss this shot. Let Chris do it. And, just a few times at the end of the game, within that last minute, when they needed 3-pointers bad, Rose wasn't shooting, and it's like he didn't want to. It's like he didn't want that pressure on him. And he only missed one of the free throws at the end, but it was a big free throw because Douglas Roberts missed 2 in a row, but the kid from Dozier got the rebound, kicked it back out, and Derrick Rose got fired. So he had a chance again after Douglas Roberts already missed the free throws. They had a chance again to seal it, and Derrick Rose should be that guy to knock down both those free throws and close the door. He should be that guy. But he wasn't, and he should be the guy trying to make that, those big shots at the end. But he wasn't. He was trying to he was trying to it's like he didn't want the pressure. He didn't want to answer the questions had he missed. Or something like that. I didn't understand. I mean, here's a kid, who as a freshman has earned the right to take the last shot.